Case number 16-1705, People versus Maxwell Brack. Here for jury trial, Your Honor.
Put down a logo on behalf of the people.
Ronald Weitzman for Mr. Brack.
All right, good morning, everyone. Any preliminary matters? The mutual sequestration order is still in effect.
Yes.
And for the record, the electronic media is present this morning and will be filming the trial this morning. I don't know if there are any print media here or not.
No.
Okay. All right, so do the lawyers have any comments regarding that?
No.
Okay, and I'll say something to the jurors, even though they can see that the cameras are here, they may not know exactly what it is. Okay, all right.
Everybody ready? All right, take your time. All rise for the jury. You can leave your bags here if you want. It's up to you. No one will come in here.
I don't really have to hang on to it.
Right behind you. Thank you. May be seated.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury panel.
Good morning.
Hope everyone had a nice weekend. As the jurors can see, one of the television stations is here and will be filming the trial this morning. The media order has been given to the media, and as I said before, they're under order not to show any images of you or disclose any information about you. Okay, if anyone has any concerns, you can voice them now, or we'll just get started. Okay, get started. First witness this morning.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the people will call Ms. LaShonda Globe.
Okay. May I have a stipulation now 14 jurors are present, please?
So stipulated.
So stipulated.
Okay, thank you.
Spell your name for me. Capital L-A-S-H-A-N-D-A, capital G-L-O-B-E. Okay, look at the clerk.
Turn around, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in a matter now pending before the court to be the truth, so help you God?
Yes. All right. Prosecution, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning. Could you state your name, please?
LaShonda Globe.
I ask you to try and keep your voice up, okay? Ms. Globe, do you know someone by the name of Kajavia Globe?
Yes, that's my daughter.
And how many daughters do you have total?
I have 4 daughters. Kajavia was the oldest.
And how old was she at the time of the death?
24.
Were you and Kajavia close?
Yes.
Could you just briefly describe your mother-daughter relationship?
I have 4 daughters, which Kajavia is the oldest. Wonderful girls, every last one of them. I had Kajavia at 16. She outpassed me. All of them have, actually. I'm a proud mother. Kajavia was the perfect big sister. They call her Sister Mama, because when I left, she took control. She was my everything.
And Ms. Globe, I believe you just stated that she surpassed you. What did you mean by that?
I have all girls. My oldest two was college educated. My 18-year-old just graduated high school. She's on her way to the Navy. My baby girl, she will be attending Renaissance High School with a 3-point average GPA.
Now, you said Kajavia went to college?
Yes.
What did she go to college for?
Her first major was anesthesiologist. Her second major was mortuary science.
In December of 2015, was she employed?
Yes, she was.
Where was she working?
Minix.
Do you know in what capacity she was working there?
She started off as a rep, a call rep at the rep center for companies like Netflix, DTE, a phone representative.
And was that still what she was doing in December of last year?
No. Kajavia is... Kajavia is so very well educated. She was just with the job a couple of months, and she was on her way that Monday. When we found her body, she should have been clocking in at her new department to be a team leader or a supervisor. It was one of them. But she had to take a test. Oh, Lord Jesus.
Were you aware that your daughter Kajavia was involved with Maxwell Brack?
At the time?
No, just she had a relationship.
Yes.
Do you know how old she was when that relationship started?
Well, Kajavia say high school, but there's no dating in my household. So I say actually they knew each other since high school and called themselves dating, but it got probably more serious when she went to college out my household.
And during their dating relationship, you had opportunities to spend time with Mr. Brack, correct?
Yes.
Was this a relationship that you approved of?
No.
Why?
It was a domestic violent relationship. Kajavia was outselling him. She was passing him. She was leaving him behind.
Well, Ms. Globe, I want to specifically ask you about an incident that happened outside of your home on September 18, 2014. Do you remember that incident?
Yes, Kajavia had texted my phone.
And you can't tell us what she texted, but did you do something in response to that text message?
Yes, I did.
What did you do?
I ran outside. I heard a car coming, but I couldn't see it yet because Kajavia had a black GT then.
So in 2004, she had a black vehicle?
Yes. But as it was, because I'm a corner house, so as it was coming, you know, towards me, I'm looking like, that's Kajavia's car. Her and Max in this car is driving by itself, because her and Max in there fighting.
Can you see that from where you are?
Yes, once they hit that pole and got in front of me, yes.
What happens once you see that they're fighting in the car while it's moving?
First of all, I had moved. I just been in my new home for 2 years. I was in my last home for 7 years. Once I was aware that the relationship had got domestic, which putting his hands on my daughter, I was against it.
Ms. Globe, I just want to talk about this incident right now. Once you saw that they were fighting in the car, what do you do next?
I go to the door. I call out to her other sisters, like, call the police. Max and Kajavia is out here fighting.
Excuse me. We have to be careful with this record of
Yes.
prior incident.
Yes.
So we need to get to this incident.
Yes, ma'am. Now, you told your daughter you were against this relationship, correct?
Both of them, yes.
At what point in time were you told that Kajavia was missing?
8:00 p.m., December the 11th, 2015.
And what, if anything, did you do based on that information?
Me and my family got up to where she was residing at, went there, got a log, called Mr. Brack, started looking for her because I'm a strict parent. Period. I am. And she was 24, but at 8:00 not home yet? No.
Even though Kajavia wasn't living with you, was there ever a day that went by that you guys did not either talk in person or on the phone?
No.
After you were alerted that Kajavia had not come home, did you try and call her phone?
Yes.
Did she answer?
No.
Did she ever try and call you?
No.
Did you hear from Kajavia at any time after December 11th?
No.
Had you talked to her that day at all?
Earlier.
Was this morning or afternoon?
Morning.
And was this on the phone or in person?
On the phone.
And was there anything about that conversation that would lead you to believe that something was wrong?
No.
Now, you stated that you and your family started looking for Kajavia. What did you do?
Went to her, wrote around, looked into an iCloud on her phone, jotted down some numbers that was around, around the time. Just looked at the numbers that she was calling frequently.
Okay.
And started calling them.
Did you ever hear from Kajavia after that?
No.
How did you find out that she was deceased?
How did I find out? What you mean? Like, when I got the call?
How did you find out that it was no longer a missing persons case?
Saturday evening, in me being mama.
And so the following day?
Yes.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Your daughter's nickname was Nusi.
Yes.
Family knew her as that, called her that, and you did as well.
Yes.
She was your first and oldest.
Yes.
She was a smart girl, a bright girl.
Yes, she was.
She went to a good high school in Detroit, didn't she?
Yes.
Which high school was that?
CMA, Communication Media Arts High School.
It's a well-known good high school.
Yes, it is.
And she was a pretty serious student there?
Yes, she was.
Max went there for a time too, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
You knew. And when was that Kajavia was in that school? Do you remember the years?
From 06 to 09. She class of 09.
Okay. And Max was there for a time as well.
Short period of time, yes.
Max dropped out of school, didn't he? Do you know that?
No, I do not.
But he was there for a short period of time.
Yes.
You knew that they were friends.
Yes, I did.
Max and Kajavia, did they come to your home?
Yes.
During that period of time, 06,
Y-
09, that period.
No. I'm going to say the first time that Max came to my house was Nunci's senior year.
Okay. Did they date? They go out on dates together?
They went to the movies a couple of times.
But of course, you don't know what they did all the time that they were out with each other, as any parent doesn't.
Right.
Was it 2014 that there was an incident that you characterized as a domestic violence incident between them? Between Max and Kajavia?
Yes.
That was 2014. Correct?
Yes.
Did you ever get into physical confrontations with Kajavia?
Yes, I did.
Where you both might have struck one another?
No.
You struck her, she struck you?
I was doing the striking.
There was a certain amount of volatility in the house, wasn't there, between you and Kajavia from time to time?
No. No.
But there was that fight. Did that happen often, that kind of argument? Emotional argument?
When it happened, anytime that I got physical with Kajavia, it was because of Max.
You did not want Kajavia with Max.
No, I did not.
But Kajavia apparently wanted to be with Max. Doesn't that seem to be true?
Yes.
And they continued to be together, didn't they? Even after you apparently expressed your wishes to the contrary.
Yes.
That made you angry?
What you mean what made me angry? That Kajavia was still dealing with Max?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Mad at Kajavia and mad at Max.
No, I was mad at Kajavia. I was not actually mad at Max and have told him this repeatedly. You are not my child. I'm worried about the well-being of my daughter. He was irrelevant to me.
Kajavia was working at a company called Minax in December?
Yes, she was.
December 2015.
Yes, ma'am. December 2015. Indeed, as of December 11th, 2015, she was working there.
Yes.
In fact, was your understanding she even got a promotion?
My understanding, no, that's a fact.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Came some point in time that Max was out of Kajavia's life. He was in jail for a while, right?
Yes.
Came back around Thanksgiving time of 2015. Do you recall that?
No, I cannot recall that because, like I have stated before, Max was a non-factor to me. I don't know when he got out of jail. I just found out what all about him. Actually, he was a non-factor to me. He was beating my daughter. They was fighting each other, however you want to put it.
Could I stop you and let me
Yeah.
answer my question?
Yeah.
Kajavia started living with someone named John Black, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
She was living with John Black in Lathrop Village on Redwood Street, is it? Is that right?
Yes.
Did you visit them there?
Yes.
Did you know him?
Yes.
Did you approve of that relationship?
Yes, I did.
What kind of car did Kajavia drive?
A gold Impala.
2003? Or do you know?
I don't know.
She got it from Alondriana, your other daughter?
Yes.
On Friday, did you get a phone call from Kajavia Friday morning?
Yes.
That was about a weave that she had? Was that about a hair appointment that she had?
I can't recall what I talk to my kids all the time. I don't know for what exactly.
But you talked with her early in the morning on Friday, December 11th, correct?
Yes.
And she seemed fine to you that day?
Yes. Keep asking me the same thing.
Did you talk to her again during the day of December 11th, Friday?
While she was FaceTiming one of her sisters, I dipped my head in, but that was it.
What times of the day would that have been? Do you recall?
I work midnights, so I can't recall right offhand.
Did you know she left work early that day at 11 or 11:30, something like that?
Yes, after the last department gave her a surprise party, yes.
Do you know where she was headed after she left work that day?
To do something for my auntie.
And that's Ms. Madden?
Yes.
She do some shopping for your aunt, for Ms. Madden?
Yeah, she did.
You don't know what time of day that was exactly, though, do you?
No.
That she did that for your aunt?
After she left her job?
Yeah, but not what time after she left her job, correct?
Correct.
Do you know whether Kajavia went back to the house in Lathrop Village on that day? Did she call you and tell you or say anything to you that you knew she was back at the house?
No, she is 24 years old, no.
Exactly. You didn't, but you didn't know.
Right.
You don't know how long she stayed there, and you don't know exactly when she left. Did you know something about the weave that she had in her hair at the time of her disappearance? Do you know when that was done? Was that a new process, or was it? Did she communicate with you about it at all?
Kajavia get her hair done once a week. She buy bundles. That's it.
They get sewn in?
Sewed in, glued in.
What kind of car does John Black drive, do you know? Or did he drive back then?
It's a Benz or a BMW, one of them.
Silver or gray? Remember?
Silver or gray, like you said.
Yes, ma'am. What did you occupy your time with, if you remember, until you say you got a call from someone about?
I was sleeping.
Because you work nights. You were sleeping and you got a call, and who was the call from them?
My daughter, Alondriana.
Do you know where she was calling you from?
Her apartment.
And she said something to you about Kajavia when she called?
Yes.
Well, what is it that she said? If I can, what did she say to you?
She said, Mom, wake up. I'm like, huh? Mom, wake up. I'm like, what is it, D? Because we call Alondriana D.
Right.
She like, Mom, John just called and said Nusi not home yet.
Did she say when John called and said Nusi is not home yet? You spoke to D at about 8, you said.
Mm-hmm.
How much earlier did John Black call?
So I could say, what, 7:55? Because as soon as she hung up with him, she called her mama.
You would certainly expect that.
That's how it's going to go down.
Exactly. Kajavia was what then, back 24 years old or 20? How old was she? Just asking how old she was.
Is he serious? 24 years old.
Wouldn't be unusual for a 24-year-old woman necessarily not to be home at 8 p.m. in the evening, would it?
Yes, it would be. Around the holiday, yes.
Did you talk to John yourself after you spoke to Dee?
Yes. We went straight to his house.
Did Dee say anything to... Did you go together with Dee?
Yes.
You guys talk about it, of course, on the way over to John's house?
Yes.
Did you start checking anything, or...
Yes.
What did you do, exactly?
We're going over to... Okay. Ooh, Lord Jesus. Start looking for my daughter, which going through all the numbers that she kept calling.
How were you able to do that?
Her sister is the mastermind. She did it all.
Her sister is the mastermind of the cell phone?
Yes, they're very close.
Yes.
Okay, so they know each other's information, period. So she had already called Sprint, got the numbers, all that, called everything, did it up. Okay, right.
Yes, ma'am. Was she able to find out, was Dee able to find out who, during that period of time, on the 11th, who Kajavia was communicating with?
Yes.
And who was she communicating with?
John, a couple of her girlfriend, Max.
John, some of her girlfriends? Any names come to mind of the girlfriends that she was communicating with?
No.
And Max? Communicated with Max on the 11th as well?
Yes,
right?
I did. I called Max myself.
I understand. We'll get to that, please. But Dee was able to determine, because of her knowledge of the cell phone and how to retrieve information, she was able to find out who Kajavia had been in touch with.
Yes.
Did you make any calls to any of these people on your way over to John Black's house?
No.
You just retrieved the information, and then you went over to John's, you and Dee, and you spoke with him.
Yes.
And what did John say?
And I'm going to object. Hearsay.
I'm going to tell him.
We need, wait. I think we need a little more focus here. I think we're a little too loose with these with this evidence here, so we need to tighten it up. Both lawyers, prosecutor and defense attorney.
Did John? Thank you, Your Honor. I'll do that. Did John show you a selfie that he had received from Kajavia Globe? Did you see it?
A selfie?
A video that she took that Kajavia took with herself.
Yes, I did.
Did he show it the 11th, the 12th, or?
On the 11th, when you went over there after 8 in the evening.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You were, of course, offended by that.
Of course.
Do you know who else Kajavia sent that selfie to?
It's not a selfie, it was a video.
A video. Thank you. Who else did she send the video to besides John Black?
She didn't send it to John Black.
You don't know when John Black...
Found it in the iCloud. She had deleted it and it still was in her iCloud.
John Black told you that he knew that Max and Kajavia were still seeing each other?
Yes. By the video.
But also from emails that went between them, correct?
That probably came later, but that particular day, that particular night, it was the video.
That particular night, you're saying you learned about the video, but later you learned that John knew of emails going back and forth between them being Max Brack and Kajavia, correct?
John has never told me about any emails.
John Black was very disturbed, would you say, about the video and what was depicted there?
I was too, yes.
And he was as well.
Yes.
At that point, when you were speaking with John Black at his home in Lathrop and your daughter being there, Dee,
It was my whole household actually there. Just not
family,
D.
the whole family?
Yeah.
Did you have an idea in mind of what may have happened to your daughter, Kajavia?
Yes, when she did not pick up her phone and saw me calling her phone, I said, Nusi is out here messing up. She's somewhere with Max.
You thought she was someplace with Max.
That's the only time she won't answer her phone because she know how I feel about her dealing with him, period.
And so thinking that she was with Max, you suspected Max of having something to do with her being missing.
Say that again.
If she didn't pick up her phone, your suspicions of Max are that Max had something to do with her being missing, correct?
Not off rip because I called Max.
When did you call Max?
Within an hour before we even left the house to even go out to go over to John and Lucy's house.
You know about what time that was?
Okay, Dee stayed in Taylor. She got to my house so fast. I'm going to say it's the times about. They got to my house probably about 8:30 before 9
p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
On the 11th.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you sure you didn't start talking to John at about midnight on the 11th?
I talked to John all night on the 11th, almost on and off. I'm looking for my daughter.
How many people from your household were over at John Black's house?
Who? It was 4 of us.
Do you have any of you have pictures of Kajavia, of course, on your cell phones?
Yes.
So that if you were looking for your daughter, you were able to say, this is the young woman that we're looking for. You were in a position to do that, correct?
Yes.
Did you have, or did anyone have a photo, a picture of Mr. Brack?
No. Not at that moment.
When did you get a picture of Mr. Brack?
I got a picture of Mr. Brack probably in the wee hours, round about 10 p.m. that night, actually, on the 11th.
And who received that picture of Max Brack?
Went to one of his Facebook pages.
Got his picture off of it?
No, we didn't get a picture off of it.
You were able to see his picture. Were you able to show his picture to people and say, has anybody seen this man?
No. Why would I be doing? I'm looking for my daughter, not Max.
Well, there came a time after you couldn't find Kajavia and you were suspicious about Max, weren't you? Where is she? Where are they, is what you were thinking.
I called Max's phone one time, asked him a couple of questions, hung up, didn't talk to him no more.
After you left John Black, where did you guys go? Where did the family go?
We rode around.
Rode around
looking for Kajavia car. Kajavia.
Where would you have been headed for? I mean, what would have been an idea of where she might have gone, where she might have been?
Just actually riding around, not in my neighborhood for sure.
Okay. When did you learn, or did you know already, where Max lived?
No.
Where he was staying?
No.
When did you find out?
The night that we found my daughter's body.
On Monday was the first time you found out where Max was staying?
Yes.
On Fielding?
Yes.
You didn't go to the police the night of December 11th and the early morning hours of Saturday, December 12th, correct?
Yes, we was there in the early hours of December 12th.
What time did you go to the police station?
It was a Saturday morning. We woke up because we found out that it was a transaction. A $500 was drawn off a Kajavia card. My daughters are not allowed to carry cash. That's why they have cards. So when we went to the bank, opened up at Saturday at 9, we was there. We had to see the manager because it was a withdrawal and my baby missing, so I'm explaining everything to the manager. The district, the big manager that probably could have showed it to me wasn't there. So we left there and went straight to the police department. It wasn't even 24 hours she was missing.
How did you find out that a withdrawal was made from the bank? Just went there and asked them?
No. Her sister,
Yes.
Dee, called in her bank and found out.
That's the Fifth Third Bank?
Yes, sir.
Was there anything that happened before the sister called the bank that made the sister call the bank? Did the sister just on her own?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Just trying to find out as much as she could?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
And found out that a $500 withdrawal was made on Friday, December 11th, correct?
Yes.
But nobody knows who made it. That didn't say who made the withdrawal, did it?
No, it did not. We had to wait until Monday morning when homicide then went to the bank and...
I don't have a question.
Okay, then.
You went to the police on Saturday morning at about 11:30. Am I right about that?
No, I'm going to say probably about 9:45 to 10.
Did you have to wait a while before you could make a missing persons complaint?
No, I did not.
You made the complaint at 9:45?
Round about 9:45, 10 o'clock. I can't remember. My life is upside down right now.
And the missing persons report was that Kajavia was missing. Did you know what kind of car she was last seen in?
Yes.
The 2003 Golden Impala, right?
Yes.
Tell them where she had been, to the extent that you knew where she had been?
I walked into the police department. I went to the front counter. I asked, I need to make a report. My daughter is missing. They went and got an investigator. He said, I'm going to ask you one question. He said, has this ever happened before? I said, look at me. Do I look like I play these type of games? And they went in action. So I told them that
Your Honor,
her
could I get
age...
instruction? I don't know that this is all responsive to the
Well,
question.
you should insist on a responsive answer
Yeah.
long before the narrative is given.
Oh.
So, go on.
So they
Were
asked
you
me...
angry at the police that you weren't getting the action you wanted?
I got angry. I
And
did.
is it the case?
You gonna let me finish?
Wait.
I think he answered.
Let me explain.
Okay.
And I'm explaining this more to the lawyers than I am to the witness, because the lawyers know better. This is a yes-no process,
Okay.
basically. And if you can't answer the question yes or no, say that.
Okay.
I can't give you a yes or no answer. And then they'll ask another question. But it's not a narrative process. The lawyers should not be allowing any witness to give a narrative. So I'm going to start checking the lawyers on this, because we have to move through this trial and get to the relevant information for this jury. All right? Whether she's angry with the police or not really is not relevant. Okay? So let's get whatever this witness's evidence is to this jury, and then let's move to the next witness or piece of evidence.
Ms. Globe, after you went to the police station and made that report, the family went with you, or some members of the family went with you, didn't they?
Yes.
Dee went with. Yes?
And what's the relevance of that? She said family members went with her.
What did you do after you left the police station?
When we left the police station, we went home, and then as we pulled up, Channel 247, everybody was in front of my house.
Causing the kind of commotion.
They put out alert for Kajavia.
Was Max's name mentioned in that alert?
No.
And you stayed where? Did you continue looking for Kajavia?
Yes, my family and friends continued looking for Kajavia. I was at home praying that I won't lose my mind. That's what I was doing.
There come a time that you found out on Monday, December 14th. Was there a time you found out on that day that Kajavia's car was found?
Yes, it was around about 7:45 a.m. when we got the call about Kajavia's car was found.
You get the call from the police?
No, I got a call from a family friend because everybody was still out there looking.
Well, how did that family friend find out that the car was found?
They were searching.
The car was found on Chatham and Freeling, was it? Keeler? Thank you.
Yes.
You went over there.
Yes.
The car was there. Did you look in the car? Were you able to do that?
No.
Could you see whether anything of hers was in there?
No.
You knew it was her car.
Yes.
And of course that was upsetting, and what did you do after that? After you stayed there and saw that the car was there, where did you go? What did you do?
I was told to return back to the police department for a DNA swab.
And you did so?
Yes.
Did you start looking for Max Brack at that point?
No.
After you gave the swab, what time would that have been?
I cannot remember, sir.
What did you do after that?
I cannot remember, sir.
When did you find out that Kajavia's body was found?
The date and time?
Yes. The date, time.
I know it was December the 14th, but the time I cannot recall. It was at night.
Yes. And when you found out, you went over to the street, didn't you? To Freedom.
Yes.
The scene was taped off like a police scene.
Excuse me, Freeland? I don't know anything about Freeland. Freeland?
Fielding, I meant Fielding. You went over to Fielding.
Yes.
The street was taped off when you got there?
A perimeter of the street, not all the street.
Sure. Squad cars, a lot of people around.
Yes.
You and your family were with you?
Yes.
Did you find out at that time that Max stayed there as well on Fielding?
I passed out, so when I woke up, I saw like the police going into this house, and so I asked the detective, why is they going into that house right there? Do that house have anything to do with Kajavia? And he said, Max lived there.
Max is staying there. And you put two and two together, didn't you?
I had been put two and two together.
You had been putting two and two together. Yes. Did you see Max at all at that time?
No.
You didn't go back into the area at all, of course,
No.
to search any of the property.
No.
Did you go around the neighborhood asking any questions or showing people pictures?
No.
Did you go back to Fielding Street at any time after the 14th?
Yes.
You and other members of your family?
No, some lady that lives in Detroit did a walk for Kajavia.
A number of posters of Kajavia had been posted, weren't they?
Yes, missing posters, yes.
Missing posters all over.
Yes.
And were you talking to neighbors about...
Let's get to
Where?
her going back to Fielding.
Yes,
And for what purpose?
Sure.
right.
You went back to the neighborhood on Fielding to look for Max Brack.
No.
That was part of it.
No. That was no part of it.
What was the reason?
The reason was that's the way they took the walk.
Did you see or talk to Max Brack after December 14th?
After December 11, no.
Nor after the 14th?
No.
Did you make complaints to the police about this case not having been solved between December...
What's the relevance of it? What's the relevance of it?
There's a good deal of pressure put on the police department.
Well, that's what they're there for citizens, to put pressure on all of us and
Indeed.
public servants.
Indeed,
So
I understand.
let's move on. That's what we're here for.
Good morning. If I could have just one more moment, Joe. No further questions, thank you.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, next witness.
time people call Mr. Laundriana Globe. Burns, excuse me.
Is the last witness excused? She's in the courtroom.
I would
Is there
ask
any
that she be excused and be allowed to remain in the courtroom.
any objection?
Well, I could see recalling her.
Well, I can too. All right, she's gonna have to state the question.
Yeah, I mean, we approach.
Yes. Let me have a jury step in the jury.
All rise for the jury. Ma'am, go back. Maybe see it.
The lawyers and I were just having sidebar discussions, and I reminded you that we have to have witnesses testify from personal knowledge about certain things. Some things witnesses can't testify to, but you know that you have other witnesses who are coming who can testify to that personal knowledge. So we cannot have a situation where witnesses are giving conclusions without a foundational base. And I'm reminding you of this because I do not want a reversible record here.
Yes, yeah.
Okay? And it very well could be because neither one of you is objecting to anything. You know, but it's not that process. It's not that kind of a process where we just throw out everything and then let the chips fall where they may. We're trained in the rules of evidence to ask questions a certain way, get a certain response, make certain objections, so that we protect this record. And this record must be protected. Now, we also discussed at sidebar whether the last witness, Ms. Globe, is being excused or not. On the record, Mr. Weissman, you objected to Ms. Globe being present. But upon further reflection, it seems as though you made a decision that you will not object because she won't be recalled.
My position at this point is that we do not intend to recall her. She may remain in the courtroom. However, if at some point in time I would request the court to recall her, we would, of course, be stuck with the situation that she had heard some testimony and whatever.
She was present during the trial.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now, the other thing, lastly, is this court is mindful of what a hurting situation this is, but we need everybody in the courtroom to control themselves. My deputies have standing orders that, especially in cases of this intensity, that anyone who cannot control themselves will be removed from the courtroom, and they may or may not be able to come back during the trial. So everybody keep that in mind, because we just want to get the evidence to the jury and let the jury make a decision. We're not here for a show, even though we do have a television camera here. That's not our purpose here, okay? All right, and that's not the purpose of the camera. All right.
You got one? Just knock when you're ready. May I have a seat?
Okay, let's take about a 10-minute break.
I'll let them. Judge said 10-minute break, so.